What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Conversation with Bling. First of all, I want to say how much I appreciate everybody who've been liking the video, sharing and subscribing. Keep spreading the word. Keep sharing and subscribing. Don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Appreciate y'all. Today, man, with the conversation, I wanna start off with a little story. So I was in high school at the time, and I had an Asian friend. His name was Jim. Shout out to Jim, man. If anybody know where Jim is at these days, hit me up and let me know how I can get in contact with him. But yeah, anyway, so I had a classmate in high school. His name was Jim. He was Asian, and he was good with math. And I was also good with math. But I went to his house one night. We had homework, and we went to do homework, or I went to do homework at his house. And I think at a very young age, I had the opportunity to go inside of a Asian family home, and I think it was a great experience because I was able to experience and see how they live. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of us get the opportunity to go inside of an Asian community home and really see how the family live and how they operate. So for the short period of time that I was there, I got to just see, I'm a very observant person. So I got to see how they move, what they eat. They were drinking tea. Everything they were eating was all healthy. You know what I mean? And then I know when I eat their food, I go eat the Chinese food. I go hit up lychee, friendship, whatever, back then. But anyway, so I admire the way they move. It was a different feeling. And I say that to say this, their culture is something that we can learn from. It's definitely something that we can learn from. They know how to build community. They know how to look out for each other. They know how to work together. They know how to build with each other, and so it's very admirable, and it's also something that I think our culture needs to adapt, or should adapt. Not need to, but we should adapt, because I think that it's a perfect example of how we can come together and how we can build something major, something that's for us. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about the Asian community in the country, first of all, man, how many of y'all would agree that on every corner, especially in the city, every corner there's a Chinese shop? Every single corner there's a Chinese shop, right? And in all the communities, there's a Chinese shop, and if it was the other way around, where we can have us selling the groceries or the necessary products that we need in our communities, and then we end up a lot of time we end up taking and robbing from these establishments, right? And they ain't giving back to us. See, there's a reason why people rob and commit crime and do all these things, you know what I mean? But we could save that for another video. But the point I want to make in this video is when we take from them, when we rob them, we don't get what we need. What we get is something very temporary. We get something very temporary because, first of all, we go in there and we rob. They smart. They don't have a lot of money in there most of the time in the shops, So maybe we get away. We run up in there and we get away with a little $200, $300. And granted, that $200, $300 could be a lot of money for the day, I understand families need to be fed, have no job, feel like you have no opportunities, feel like this is your only option, so you do what you do. but we think differently, and we try to figure out, okay, man, yeah, I want to rob, I want to take, but what I want to take is to learn how they build. For example, if you walk down the boulevard right now, and it's crazy because I used to, my family's from the South Side. We grew up on the South Side, you know. Shout out to everybody on the South Side of Belize City, man. Yarborough, Penn Road, Craw Road, Crenshaw, Dog Park, everything. Everybody along the boulevard. Shout out to everybody. But I'm specifically talking about that area because the first thing that came to my mind was the 88 Shopping Center. So back in the day when I used to live there, I used to see 88 was there, but now when I go back, they got this pretty much like a skyscraper building, huge. And the first thing that I think of when I see that, I'm like, man, this community right here, all these neighborhoods that I just named, they contributed to that building. They contributed to that building. They spend their money in those buildings, but we don't get nothing back. So instead of trying to take from them when we already give them, because that's where we go buy our bread, we go buy sugar or flour, so we already give them, and then we go take back a little. But we can take back way more if we learn from how they move and how they operate, how they organize, how they develop themselves, how they take care of each other. So that's the real robbery. That's the real robbery. If we can learn how to operate the way they do and make the moves that they move, the way they move, then I believe we're going to be heading in the right direction.
They see the glory, they don't know about them cold nights. They're so right, so I had to go against the grain. Made a left, they can never take what's in the brain.